Hi, so welcome in today's video. In today I'm going to be creating a flyer for the Yum Yum business. So as we know, the Yum Yum business is a food service. It's a food service that specializes in serving foods to their numerous customers. So since I'm going to be developing a flyer, I'm just going to make sure that the background image is related to like a food service. So first of all, I'll start first by importing the image that I'll be using. In this case, I'll be using this background image that I took before. So as we can see, here's the background image, and the background image is saved into my H drive. So by clicking on open, I've now imported the background image. So now that the background image has been inputted, we can now proceed by creating our logo. So in order for me to create a logo, I'll first start by creating a layer. So a layer is essentially a additional background that we are basically creating into our work. So in this scenario, I'll start first by creating my first layer, and this layer is called layer number 2. Once the layer has been created, I then start by renaming this layer just so I can easily identify, and I'll call this layer the logo layer, and let's say now let me just call it title. So I'll call this the title layer. That's it. And I'm now gonna make a different layer, and as my second layer, I'm gonna call this layer the watermark layer, and that's it. So on the title layer, I'm gonna start first by making the title for the business. So I want this title to stand out, and since I want it to stand out, I have to make sure to use the right image size for the image. So in this case, I'm going to make sure that I'll use a font size that's 84, and I'll select an appropriate font for the title. And in this scenario, I'll be using this font, and as we can see, this is called Demode, and it's a 3D font that can stand out. So since I'm making use of a 3D touch, I'm now going to proceed by typing the name, and I'll call this Yums, and I'll now make sure I'll make sure that this is bold, and I also want to make sure that the color stands out. I'll give this a red background, and that's it. Let me just change it let me change it to a different one. Uh, that's it. And as we can see, we now have a title. Let me just place it down to the center, and that's it. Now we can now proceed by creating a watermark. So let's go into the title, create a watermark. Since it's a watermark, I'm gonna make sure that the size is appropriate and the color is appropriate as well. So in this case, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a black color. I'm gonna do exactly the same thing. But since this is a watermark, I want to give it some transparency. So what I'm not gonna do is this. I'm now gonna set this into a transparent color, just so you can tell that it's a watermark. And I'm now gonna set the size into 4U, and I'll put this into the center. Now what I'm now gonna do is I'm now gonna make sure to put the essential information into the website, such as the name, times, location, the email, and the phone number. So let me start first by putting the day in which this event will be taking place, and I do exactly the same thing. So I'm now gonna make sure to do this and use an appropriate color. and I'm gonna adjust the transparency from what I used before, and let me just set this size into an appropriate size, give it 26, and I'm not gonna do from 16. So as we can see, by changing this, I also did change that as well. So what I'm now going to do is, I'm going to the back one. Now I'm going to make some adjustment. Okay, so on my third layer, I'm going to call it the contacts layer. So this layer will have all the essential information regarding the business. So we'll start first by putting in the time and the day. So start first by putting the day. From So let's give this the right shade, just so it's visible, and I'm gonna give this a yeah, that's it. So I'm gonna make sure that this is good, and in the Comic Sans. So And I'm now gonna make the last layer, and I'll call this uh, I'll give this last layer a name. So as we can see, the the flyer has been finished. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna click on save, and I'm now gonna save the flyer into a suitable format. So now I'm gonna go into the unit section, create flyer, yums flyer, and I want to make sure that this is being saved in the right format. And as we can see, I'll be using JPEG. The reason why I decided to use JPEG is because JPEG is a good format for the printing, and this also doesn't require a lot of space. So by now clicking save, what I've just done is now I've now made sure that the thing that like the flyer has been saved, and I can now select the format. I'm fine with this default format, and what I'm now going to do is this. I'm now going to click on OK, and I now want to make sure that this is saved. So now this is completely saved, and this is the final job that I've done for today. Thank you for watching this video, and yeah.